Good morning, everyone. We shall be continuing our basic technology classes today, and we shall be dealing with properties of wood, part 1. We know wood is one of the engineering materials that we have. When you conceive a thought to manufacture any product, for instance, when the Wright brothers conceived the mind to manufacture an aeroplane, they first of all drew the plan. Then they have to look for materials to be used before they now choose the tools they are going to use. So materials are very, very important when we have to manufacture anything. And to know which one to use, you need to know about their properties. But before we go to properties of wood, we have to know the lesson objectives for the topic wood and its properties. So the lesson objectives: to identify engineering materials and parts of a tree. To identify engineering materials and parts of a tree. To identify two types of wood and their properties. To define conversion of timber and explain methods of conversion. So to start with, do you have an idea of 6 engineering materials that you know? List them in a paper or in your jotter. Then mention parts of a tree. Have you done that? 6 engineering materials that you know, and then parts of a tree. Okay, these are the 6 engineering materials. There are other materials though. So these 6 engineering materials are the common ones, and they are the ones we shall be learning first: wood, metals, ceramics, rubbers, plastics, glass. When I ask my students, they usually mention cement, concrete, concrete blocks, and so on. They are right, but we are going to base our foundation in this subject on wood, metals, ceramics, rubber, plastics, and glass. And of course, parts of a tree, you already know that. You have roots, you have trunk, that is the stem, you have the branches, you have the leaves. When the stem is still standing, then this is part of a tree trunk. When you have already cut it and it's lying down, we call it a log. A log. So these are what you see when you look at its cross section. You have medullary rays, annual rings, pith, or you call it medulla. We have heartwood, we have sapwood, we have cambium, we have bast, and we have bark. Now, all these parts of a log have their functions. Functions of parts of cross-section of a stem. We have the pith, which is the center, and the dead parts of a tree. It is very, very hard, always very, very hard. Then we have the medullary rays, the part of a tree which store food and water for the growing tree. Then annual ring. This is the circular line in timber that shows the yearly growth of a tree. The annual ring tells us the age of a particular tree. Then the heartwood. It is a matured part of a wood that is used for construction purposes. They are always very strong. Heartwood is very, very strong. And hardly can a termite eat it. It's going to take a long time before the dry termite consumes it. Then we have sapwood. It engages in transport of water and minerals to the crown of the tree. It is a section of the wood mostly attacked by fungi, just because of the sugary minerals that is in it. And it's also, the growth in trees take place around sapwood. You know, that's the place that have the mineral resources and the water and the food for the tree. That's where it goes to all other parts of the tree. Then we have the cambium layer. It's the part of the tree responsible for continuous cell division. Then we have the bast. Another name for that is the inner bark. After the external bark, you peel it. The next layer is the bast, and then of course the bark, which protects the tree from harsh weather. So, to proceed, can you list two types of wood? Then can you state the properties of two types of wood? You done that? Two types of wood. Okay, this is an example of hardwood and an example of softwood. Now we have two types of wood. That is what? Hardwood and softwood. And can you see their differences here? Hardwood is dark in color. It is heavy. It comes from deciduous trees. It has a complex cellular structure. It has invisible annual rings. It has broad leaves. Their leaves are always broad. Then they lose their leaves in the winter. It loses its leaves in cold weather. And softwood, of course, it has a lighter color compared to hardwood. It is not as heavy as hardwood. It comes from coniferous trees. That's why we call them conifers. We call them conifers. Then they can easily walk on because they are soft. The trees produce naked seed. It is needle-leaved. These are thinner. They are not as broad as hardwood leaves. Then the trees are evergreen. They don't shed leaves. Anywhere you see hard leaves, you see that you will be seeing dead leaves on the floor, plenty of them. And hardwood, of course, you know they are found in these parts of the world, West Africa, while softwood are mostly found in other places like United Kingdom, China, Canada, America, and so on and so forth. Then these are examples of hardwood. We have beech, we have oak, we have ash, we have teak, we have opepe, we have afara, omo, mahogany, walnut, iroko, beech, and for softwood we have pines, we have spruce, we have cedar, we have fir, we have cypress, and we have balsam. Task 2, conversion of timber. Can you define it? Define conversion of timber. Conversion of timber is the process of breaking logs into marketable sizes of various thickness and wideness at sawmills. It's usually done with sawing machine. Planks. Just cutting planks from log, and later, and sometimes they can cut some other types. The plank is 25 millimeter, 1 inch thick. Sometimes they can make it 50 millimeter thick, 2 inches, and you can cut 2 by 2, 2 by 3, and all other sizes from the log. So that's conversion of timber. Then can you explain methods of conversion? Okay, let's go there. So there are 2 common methods of timber conversion. These are plain sawn and water sawn. Others are billet sawing and reef sawing, making foam. So plain or flat sawn, when you, let's say you fall your tree by a cutting machine, then you just convert it directly. Let's say you use a chainsaw. So at the point of felling, you cut it straight away into planks. That is plain sawn. Then we have quarter sawn. You first of all cut them into 4 equal parts. Then you begin to saw it, as you have seen it in the diagram. Then reef sawn, You cut it into 4. Then you now begin to cut it at an angle. Billet son. You first of all cut it into 2. Then you begin to cut it in straight forms. Alright. Can you list this engineering material that you know to see whether you have learned? Then in the tabular form, say the properties of 2 types of wood to differentiate them. Then you can go back to what you learned earlier to see whether you get it correctly. So thank you. You can like and subscribe to stay like Peter Adewumi. Then the part 2 of properties of wood is coming soon.